Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be taking a Simic Ooze clone deck, essentially, into the best of threes. So I hope you guys enjoy, and yeah, without further ado, let's show our opponent Ooze Boss. Okay, we're in, and we're on the draw. We do have the turn 2 Growth Spiral, which is guaranteed to get us a little bit of ramp. I kind of like that. Maybe we get the 4th Insight. Yeah, I'm going to take this hand. It's reasonable. We got lots of stuff to clone in as well. Ooh, a Simic deck, eh? The Mirror. Probably not quite the Mirror, but maybe it's something like... Oh. Huh? Interesting. Growth Chamber Guardian. Alright. This is going to be interesting. I don't know what to expect really from this one, except for maybe loads of Hydroid Crises as the top end. See if that ends up happening. We have Growth Spiral into land, into New Horizons. Hopefully we get a land off of the Growth Spiral as well. That'd be very nice. We want to, in this early game, just get lots and lots of mana. So, not gonna add to the Growth Chamber's power. Instead, we're gonna go with the Rhythm of the Wild. Fair enough. So, get a land in with Growth Spiral and New Horizons. Well, I guess we do Incubation Druid. Since the New Horizons is free to cast off of the Druid, we can do some ramping off that if it survives. And that's gonna be very nice indeed. If it doesn't survive, then that's at least... removal bait, so that maybe the Biogenic Ooze can live. We still need another clone effect as well, though. So we're going to have to find that at some point. I guess that's what PianoJester is here for. Incubation Druid, sure. With Riot, to immediately get the counter on it. Very nice. And shocking in for another Druid. So we got all the mana in the world now. That screams big Hydroid Crisis to me, which is disturbing. Alright, well, put a Horizons on the Forest, put a counter on Druid. Allows us to then do either Biogenic Ooze or ramp even more. I guess we'll do the Ooze, because it gets around potential removal here. I don't expect my opponents running much of it, because this kind of looks like an all-creature kind of deck. So maybe we get like Nikia and Hydroid Crisis and things like that going down, and in which case I really do want to have my threats on board pretty early. Best thing that we can find now is a clone effect, Quasi-Duplicate being the absolute best one. Alright, looks like we're going to go with the full Growth Chamber Guardian package here. Think my opponent can get down all 4 in one go if they really want to. Yeah, they can. If they do like Guardian with the Riot on the Rhythm, they're not going to do that. Instead, they're going to go with Hadana's Climb, which is... that's a rough one, actually. That Growth Chamber Guardian over there, the 4/4, is going to be quite problematic. Hopefully we can maybe pressure our opponent enough that they don't get time to attack in like that. Or maybe they just go for the value plan and choose not to flip it immediately so that they can put more counters on things. Shocks in a Breeding Pool. And goes to combat. Yeah, they're going to flip Hadana's Climb here. Pretty good. Pretty good. And they actually get to go get another Growth Chamber Guardian. I thought it was only when it had got its first counter. It's actually when 1 or more counters are put on. Interesting. So if you put them on in separate events, you get to do some fun stuff. We're just going to get destroyed here, though. We need a Root Snare off the top. So we're going to have to go digging for Root Snare with PianoJesters here. And we just simply do not find it. So we are dead. Well, that's good, isn't it? That's fantastic. Alright, well, scoop them up. We can make exactly 4 mana and leave 1 mana left open, which is not enough for a Root Snare. Against this deck then, I guess maybe we want Blink of an Eyes, though I'm not really sure. We can't counter anything. So bringing in Admiral's Order is a terrible idea. Root Snare does seem kind of interesting, though, as an option. I think maybe just getting punked out by one flyer. We don't really deal well with flyers, so Root Snare is one of our options about getting around that. So is Murmuring Mystic as well, to a certain extent. We could bring in the Murmuring Mystics for that reason, just so that we could block Hadana's Climb counters. But really, their top end, if it's Hydroid Crisis, it does have Trample. So it's a problem card that we don't really want to bounce either. It's a weird matchup for us, is this one. I don't really think it's favourable. We're just going to stick in another Root Snare and try it like that. Okay, we're going to be in on the play. Incubation Druid with no way of putting a counter on it. Replicate effect. I think this is just too slow. I'm going to keep it. YOLO. We're going to need some good top decks, I think. But we could use this first Replicate maybe to copy Incubation Druid. That could be our form of ramp. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Steam Vents tapped. Okay, so Druid down. We do have Chemisters as well next turn if Druid survives, which is probably what I'm going to go with. If I can avoid using Replicate on Druid, I absolutely will. Rootbound Craig into Druid. Alright, we both ramping. So we actually get a Biogenic Ooze, which is perfect for a Replicate target. We're going to pass though with Chemisters as our option. I think this should be quick enough. I'd really like a way of putting counters on Druid. Zagana. Okay. It's just a 4/4. That is the worst value Zagana I've ever seen. Ooh, Growth Spiral. And there's New Horizons. Okay, so that's essentially free. So we go Forest into New Horizons, target the Forest, put the counter on Druid, and now we have Biogenic Ooze as an option. So we'll take that. And if it survives, then we can replicate it. And truly go crazy. Why in God's green earth would you ever put Archer Araska in a deck like this? Good God, that seems like a terrible idea. I mean, look how greedy the mana is already. And you want a colourless land in there? Oh my God. What say you, opponent? They're just going to pass over. Alright. Well, we can try and replicate on the Ooze. I guess we might as well try it. It's not going to attack in, so if it just gets bolted off here, then so be it. It doth not, though. And it will make us another Ooze. So their only option really is Druid's gonna adapt by the looks of things. I guess we do like Growth Spiral as our option. Alternatively, I could use Incubation Druid to make another Ooze. Yeah, that'd be okay, I suppose. Make another Ooze with Biogenic Ooze. We'll play an island. We can now Growth Spiral. We're going to be putting 2 counters on our creatures per turn, and we get to ramp a little bit as well. So we should be out of burn and most creature ranges at this point. Like this Ooze even survives a Lava Coil now, which is really nice. Here we go. We adapted. Is it too late though? Hydroid Crisis. X6. Alright. Who's a big boy? Crisis is. Alright, Growth Spiral. Into Breeding Pool tapped. And looks like we're going to Chemisters, dump the Breeding Pool. Hoping to find some more clone effects. We get a Root Snare. Root Snare's pretty good. Okay. So we have lots of mana. We have 6 mana exactly. 7 if I play Island, so we could do 4 plus the Root Snare. Could also do New Horizons as well. 1, 2, 3, 2, 5. We can't play Horizons, Root Snare, and make an Ooze. So I think we just Ooze. And maybe pass the turn. Actually, do I just start swinging in with some of our bigger oozes? I think so. We lose 1 to the Krasis and maybe to the Zagana, but I think that's fine. Ooh, definitely not with that one though. Yeah, just swing in with these oozes. We have a Root Snare to block the 6/6 Krasis. I think it's worthwhile. We could just get like Hadana's Climb punked out, but our opponent will then get Root Snared. So not too much problem there. Okay. So a trade and a suicide. And we will pass. Pump the oozes outside of Krasis range, which is where we want to be. I guess at this point now we'll probably just make oozes for the rest of the game. And just swing in with the ones that are big enough to go through. And hold the Root Snare just for when it'll actually kill us. So our opponent shocked something in there, so I expect maybe another big Krasis is coming. That's what that one says to me. Looks that way. Floating to count as mana for our X spell. Yup. X6 again. Did we miscount, or did we just not want the odd value there? No, we just got a Llanowar Elf. Okay. Fair enough. Let's see if he swings. Probably not. Oh, he does. Sure. We will not fog that particular one. Ooze. Okay. So another ooze is very nice. I like that. All the oozes. So now we're getting 3 counters a turn. We could do New Horizons to allow us to put a counter here so that it does not trade. That'd be nice. So 1, 2, 3 New Horizons on this island. Make you a 7/7. And then let's go swinging. Swing with the 7/7. The likelihood is that he sees lethal here and all attacks us, and in which case we will Root Snare and then swing right back at them. I don't think they've ever seen a Root Snare from us, have they? Yeah. So they reckon they've won here. We'll find out. 3 counters on all of our oozes, please. Presenting lethal on the crackback. Oh, they're actually 2 damage short of killing us in the air right now. Which is a nice place to be. They are going to draw a card though, look at that. Wow. Wow. Yeah, Hydro Krasis is a problem card. We do deal with flyers with our Murmuring Mystics, but Trample kind of gets rid of that as an out. Yeah, it's a problem. It's not really any good big reach creatures that we'd want to clone though. Is the sad part. So, Growth Chamber Guardian, sure. Got 3 mana, so they could make that into a 4/4 if they wanted to. I will Root Snare if they double attack him with the Hydroid Krasis, just in case they have something like Lightning Strike in their deck. Because I can't Root Snare that. And being at 2, that would obviously destroy me. But I get a very, very sneaky suspicion that they don't really want to attack in. I wouldn't either if I were them. Oh, getting in with 1. I will take the 1. Yep, that looks great. My turn. Opt. Okay. Maybe get another clone effect. Another biogenic ooze. Well, that works for me. Ooze. Make some oozes. And let's see. Swing, swing. I think we just like swing with virtually everything, don't we? Yeah, I mean, I might lose this one. Might lose one of them, but we've just gained one anyway, so not too bad. And this should basically clean up the board. We'll be forced to block with their Guardians and Llanowar Elves and things like that. The only one they can really trade off with is this 7/7 with a Krasis and a Llanowar Elf block. So it looks like it's just going to be mostly chumps here. And they're at 1. Alright then. See what you can do. If they have a counter, we lose. But I don't think they're running counters in this deck. This seems very weird for a counter deck. So we'll root snare them, and they'll lose. Lose! See what I did there. Alright, draws with Arch. Root snare. Resolves. Board wipe or bust. What say you, opponent? Zagana. Wow, draws a card. Oof. Value. Oof. Uh-huh. And explodes. Into a pile of sadness. Okay. Anything to change in this one? We're not really set up for Hydroid Krasis at all. That's the sad part. So I think we'll just run it back and just hope we get lucky again. Other than Hydroid Krasis though, we can take care of this deck perfectly. Okay, so... this hand is garbage. Absolutely garbage. Alright, we'll mulligan it. And this hand is objectively worse. And this hand's unplayable. And this is the hand we're going to have to go with. Good game. Well then. Well, we have a breeding pool untapped, so... maybe. We now have growth spiral value, which I didn't expect to have. I don't know. This deck seems like it's been quite consistent. So, yeah, I don't expect our opponent to really whiff. Although greedy mana base and all that, you never know. 2 green mana into Growth Chamber Guardian. That might be enough beatdown. I think we just go Druid here. If we drew like New Horizons off the top, then I'd be happier to have this in play. And it also blocks the Llanowar Elf beatdown, I guess. Which is a thing. Getting in for 2, which is actually 4. That's fine. If this is all they've got to offer, then it's not terrible. Wow, okay, so they've got a follow-up play. Huh? I'm confused. Okay. My opponent uses Confusion. It's very effective. And we get a Breeding Pool tapped. I'm not going to be using Root Snare here, so that is fine. We actually have Tender Shoot Dryad next turn. Not bad if they can't deal with it, and in green and blue they probably can't. So, what happens here? Are we swinging? We swinging. Still not adapting. Are they holding up like counter magic? I guess it's possible. We're just gonna go Dryad anyway. We can't really afford to play around our opponent's hand. No red mana means that we're not going to get burnt off just yet. And no attacks. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with the next token. They finally adapt. Okay. Changing up their strategy, because apparently not adapting was not working for them. Get a Guardian. We get a Sapperling. Haha. Take that. Swinging for 4 again. We will take another 4. I want to get as close to the City's Blessing as I can, just so that Tender Shoot actually pumps up the Dryads, if we can help it. Up the Sapperling, sorry. This doesn't seem like the type of deck that would be running fight cards, though. My opponent keeps mousing over my creatures enough. I've got to think they have some sort of green removal. Or it's just sheer confusion. I can't decide which one. Ooh, another Tender Shoot. That'll do, Pig. That'll do. Double Lord effect for our Tender Shoots here. Swing for 5. Our opponent's, however many card hand that was substantially higher than ours, turned out to be terrible compared to our 4-lander, our 4-card hand. If they can't deal with this, they are just going to lose. Because this is 2 Sapperlings every single turn that are 5/5s. So I'm swinging for 20 next turn, so they're going to be on chump block duty already. And the biggest threat that they've ever shown us has been Hydroid Krasis, and there's no way they can get a good Krasis here. They get a Hadana's Climb, which they can flip using the Guardian. They're going to go for that. Fair enough. But it is going to have to block, though, so it's definitely not going to get turned into a 10/10. So their opportunity for a Winged Temple hit is just zilch. And now we get to hold up and Root Snare as well, even if they manage to get it off. It is not going to matter. Biogenic Ooze. Alright. Bit overkill, but we're just going to hold up and Root Snare. Swing for 20. They have to block 2 of them, or they die. Bye-bye. This is what game looks like. I can't believe we won with this hand. I can't believe we won with this. Our opponent's hand is miraculously far worse than ours. Okay. Down to 5. And we'll pass. We could play the Ooze. I don't really see the point. You just look at this board. You tell me what the point of playing Ooze is, except for rub-ins, and I'm not all about that. So they got 4 mana, 5 potentially to get a land, but no red. Actually, no, Winged Temple makes any colour, doesn't it? Yep, so they do have red mana. And they scoop it up. A bit of a weird game 3, but I guess I'll take it. Yeah, that was an odd one. Alright guys, well thanks very much for watching. If you did enjoy this one, be sure to stick around for the future videos of this deck that will be coming out. The best way to do that is to like and subscribe to the channel. Helps out the channel a great deal, and hitting that bell icon as well will give you the notifications you are looking for, because this deck is sweet and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And thanks very much for watching guys. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.